call this meeting of the Perryton Independent School District to order. That the record show that a quorum of board members are present and that this meeting has been duly called and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Let's have a word of prayer. Our gracious and loving Father, we thank you so much for the privilege we have of serving this district. We ask a special blessing tonight as the new board will convene. Help guide, guard, and direct them, open their minds and hearts to the things that will be said tonight. We ask also, Lord, that you be with our students and teachers and administration during the closing of another successful year. These things we say in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. Okay, do we have anybody signed up for open forum? Yes. Okay. All right. With that being said, we're going to move a couple of items. We're going to move item XIA diesel bids. At this time, we're going to read the one loan bid we received. This is from Bronc Oil. The bid is $4.05. It's for a transport load of ULS number 2 diesel over the road highway. Delivery as soon as possible on bus barn on Highway 15. So one bid we received.
Motion to accept.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept this bid from Bronc Oil. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes 6-0. I guess I just do both. Liz. Okay. All right, the next thing is the TEEX form that was submitted. It's been submitted with my name on it, so we'll need to approve that submission. All those in favor? Or do I hear a motion? Do I hear a motion?
Motion. So moved.
Second? I knew I'd screw up before tonight, so.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Now we go to reorganization of the board. Before we do that, I have a letter to read. It's a letter of resignation from Tyler Merkel, who's resigning from the board, and he's present secretary of this board. Mr. Morales, please accept this letter of my formal resignation from my seat on the Perryton Independent School Board of Trustees, effective immediately. It has been a pleasure to serve the Perryton ISD School District for the past 8 years. I am grateful to have had the opportunity to invest in our students, teachers, and community. I wish the Perryton ISD the very best moving forward. Tyler Merkel. Okay. That is effective immediately. Now, we move on to introduction of newly elected board member, Sarah Trigeles. Please stand. Everyone, Sarah Trigeles, she's been elected for a 3-year term. This is her first term. She's a graduate of Perryton High School and Texas Tech. And I think she will do a great job. And we welcome her. All right, now I would like for Loyd and Richard and Sarah to please stand. And I will administer your oath of office. Please repeat after me. After I say I want you to say your name. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of
that I will faithfully execute the duties and office of
the Perryton Independent School District Board of Trustees,
Perryton Independent
School Trustees.
of the
Trustees.
Board of Trustees of the State of Texas,
of the State of Texas,
and will to do best of my ability
And will do the best of my ability.
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state.
so help me God.
So help me God.
You are now duly elected members.
You start over now. Yeah, I got to start over. You raise your hand.
Go back to Olmsted.
Okay. All right. The floor is now open for nominations for board president.
Yeah. Yeah, she can come sit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You can come sit.
You're in the circle.
Come sit at the table.
You're in the circle.
The word horseshoe.
The horseshoe, that's correct.
We're Rangers. Horseshoe.
All right. Like the horseshoe.
Well, I would make a motion that we accept West Bill.
Second that.
Okay, West Bill has been nominated for the office of president. Are there any further nominations for the office of president? If not, the nominations are closed. All in favor of West Bill as board president, raise their hand, please. Motion passes 6-0. West Bill is elected president. Wes, congratulations.
Congratulations, Mr. Beal.
Cheers. Yeah. All right. Here's a folder. Yeah, no, it's a folder with a book.
How to?
Well, I figured you already
I'll take a
did.
recess like I read this.
Anyway, and then there's Mr. Morales' evaluation and extra copies. Okay? And before I go, I just want to thank the administration, our teachers, our students for the last 12 years. It's been a great ride. I hope in some way, form, or fashion that what we've done here has been a positive impact on them. With that said, our P&D. Thank you, Joe.
I think this is a cooking set, if you barbecue and I think it has an apron on there.
It will go good.
And then here is a recognition of your years of service. Thank you for your dedication to our students and our staff. Joe Organ, how many years?
12.
12 years, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Put a whole group to first grade. This class started in May.
I had a few.
I started in May, and then they started in the fall. So this group of seniors, I get to hand their diplomas out, so it's pretty special.
Joe, there is first dates in there, so be sure and go to the fridge.
Yeah, take to the fridge right away.
Don't go to the ball games.
Or to the grill.
Yeah.
Or straight to the grill. And Joe, on behalf of the board, I just want to say that 12 years of guidance and friendship have been sort of very, very special.
It has.
We started out with we don't have a tornado warning tonight.
No, we didn't. Yet.
Joe and I started out with a tornado warning and a level 3 grievance, our
Yeah,
very
we did.
first meeting,
Very
12
much.
years ago. And
We got our packets, we opened them up and said, level 3.
what the heck is that?
What is a level 3?
We looked at each other and thought, what have we gotten ourselves into?
So,
It was
anyway,
interesting.
yeah, it's been great.
I do appreciate all your
Thanks.
service.
You bet. You bet. Let me sign off on the direct will.
Would you like for him to take this one?
Okay.
Yeah, he can take that, thank you.
Joe, would you like to take this one?
Wes doesn't want that, when we get moved, Wes is over.
Okay.
I guess I'm not.
I might want to just leave that there and give everybody his phone number.
Oh, yeah, you don't want this one.
There you go.
Let me make sure I get that back out.
Put a sticky note today.
It's a bad first sign.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Thanks,
You
Joe.
guys.
Thank you, Joe.
Good job.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You too.
Okay, floor is now open for nominations for board vice president.
I'll make a motion, we do Richard Beyea.
Moved and second to nominate Richard Beyea for vice president. Any other nominations?
Last fall, pretty down.
Seeing none, nominations are closed. All in favor of Richard Beyea for vice president? All opposed?
Yeah, I'll vote for myself, thank you.
We'll make that 6-0. Board will now open nomination for board secretary.
I nominate Tyler. We liked it so much. I'd like to nominate Loyd Cator for board secretary.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, all in favor of Loyd Cator for board secretary?
Aye. 6-0.
You gotta keep minutes.
There are signatures that they need as a secretary on these deals. He will have to sign.
Thanks for stepping in.
His
I
copy.
did step up, got nominated.
Voluntold. Voluntold.
Next item on our agenda will be the reassignment of committees. First be Auxiliary Appraisal District Committee. It has been Tyler, Joe, and Richard, so we need to replace two on that committee. I'd resubmit.
Richard would resubmit. I would be willing to serve on that. Is there another person that'd be willing to serve on that committee?
You got two. Did you raise your hand too?
I would think these three along here would be just perfect. I will rescind my,
That was quick.
Fight a little, Wes, surprises.
nah. Do that. And for the RIF committee was Richard Noon, and it said Pete on there.
Yeah, Pete was.
Was he on there? So we'll need to replace his position if there are any volunteers to serve on that committee. Does that one get to be mine?
Yeah, you can do that one.
Okay. Seeing none, I will take that one. Already taking care of diesel bids. Board will now convene in a closed meeting to discuss the following items posted on our agenda this evening as allowed by the Texas Government Code and/or Education Code. We're going for student discipline, Government Code Section 551.082, personnel matters, Government Code Section 551.074, and security devices, Government Code Section 551.076.
Strong. Really nothing else on that one. Resignations, we can get to that one. Okay, Naomi Sardello, resignation for ESL teacher. Nissa Ellis, Perryton High School theater teacher. Valerie Merkel, counselor at the high school. Whitney Holmes, special education teacher at junior high, and Molly Howe at Loyd Martin, science teacher. Those are the resignations that we've had. Transfers. Randy Cunningham is transferring from second grade right to a counseling position somewhere in our system. Luz Garcia, Perryton Kinder to junior high ESL. Lucy Cummings from Williams Intermediate ESL to Wright first grade dual language. Norma Silva, Wright ESL to first grade dual language. Grady Arnold from Perryton Junior High to Perryton High School math. Delma Habather from junior high science to high school science. And Ronnie Watson from interim principal at Loyd Martin to ELAR teacher at Loyd Martin. That may be it.
Is that everything? Thank you, sir. Campus reports. Loyd Martin. Anything to add?
Graduation on the 26th.
26?
26.
26th, yes sir, a week from Thursday, and we're still waiting on some ELC scores, and I think the rest of them are supposed to be in on Friday, is that right, Dr. Ron? Some came yesterday, and I think it's the paper ones on Friday, I believe. I think that's primarily mostly for English, so may have a few more.
And you're gonna have a herd anyway.
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, that's why we like it, yes sir.
They have enough chairs, space on stage.
Well,
we'll make
graduates gonna
space.
sit out in the audience. They're gonna sit on the first three rows right there in the middle. You guys will sit up on the stage, staff will sit up there, and then we'll walk them through up there.
It's not really fair.
Let's be the other way around.
No, we don't want everybody to see y'all.
So, Coach, this is at the junior high
Yes, sir.
on the
Junior high
26th at what time?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, okay. We'll be there with a smile on our face.
The graduates will be there at 6. We're gonna rehearse that morning at 10 o'clock. And a lot of them picked up cap and gowns, and some of them, there's cap and gowns waiting on them to pick up. So,
Cool, thank you.
Appreciate it, yes sir.
Perryton High School.
Yeah, just wanted to report on us in there that the badge and door system is working well at the high school. I did put it in last month's report because I know I was able to be here, but just wanted to tell you that I think it's going well and the doors are remain locked 24 hours a day. The students have access, I think around 6:30 in the morning to 4:15 on school days, and staff has 24/7 access. So I think it's worked as we said it would.
Cool.
Other than that, just graduation.
So when is graduation, so we can get that down to
Saturday, the 28th, at 10 a.m., I believe.
10 a.m. on the football field?
Yes, sir.
It's at 11.
Is that 11? Okay. I probably have to read it down as well.
Okay.
Is it 10 or 11?
It is 11 o'clock.
11, okay.
I can check.
Make me get up early on Saturday.
Yeah, I'll be there sweating for hours.
Y'all can come join us in the Rangerette. We can shake kids down and make sure no contraband.
Everyone should shake hands with graduates as they come across the stage once in their life. It's amazing how many things you end up with in your hand.
Or in your pocket.
Or in your pocket as you're surreptitiously putting them away.
I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't do that.
Ray, report.
Yes, sir. The only thing I have to add, we are going to have a junior high, an 8th grade promotion ceremony on Tuesday the 24th at 6. Junior has a rough age. They've put in 3 years, and not everybody gets to walk across the stage for NJHS or UIL or some of those things. So we want to recognize all of the 8th graders for making it through, you know, a rough time of life and growing. So we'll be having that on the 24th at 6 p.m. But that's the only thing I have to add. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to,
I got a trying.
She needs to pick a
We
better
gotta give her something to
volunteer.
shoot at. They haven't got 100% yet.
but there's time.
There-
There's time.
There's time. There is time. But I couldn't ask for better people. We have great staffs. They're working together pre-K through 5th grade, and we're doing things that was gonna take 3 years, and we're doing it in 1. So
Yeah, I think we can
they're
see
a good
it.
group.
Yeah.
We're on the right path. And that's the most you'll ever hear me talk.
Until next time.
That's it. Dude, ask a question.
Kinder?
Kendra, all I have to add is a big thank you to Alan and Gary. They made some barriers to put out at our pre-K parking lot to help with a little bit of control and protection for those pre-K kids during dismissal. So, other than that, I think everything's in the report.
Cool.
Dr. Ross, do you want to talk about our
I do want to point out the Ranger Camp shirts. We got the staff members, and it was the teachers, the paraprofessionals, and the high school students helping with Ranger Camp. We got our t-shirts today. Today was our last day. So.
And we really appreciate that. So we do. And tonight was our last night. So it's been wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you.
I didn't get one, and I went play with sprinklers.
Should get one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Director's reports. Mr. Kemp.
I don't have anything to add.
Any questions for Alan, office report? Athletics report.
Nothing to add, school's winding down and we're ramping up.
Technology?
I don't know that I said that Bratton Williams' phones were all done. I don't think I said that in my report, but I'll add that.
Cool. Ranger Roundup Learning Center.
I don't have anything to add, but I would like to highlight a few things that we've done really well this last time.
Cool.
We have upper enrollment by 2 children, and I have a waiting list of 7 for 3 of my classrooms. We do routine tours about every other week, which has really helped us to get our enrollment up. We did finish our application for the Child Care Relief Fund, which we were awarded, and you can see the announced in my report. I'm really excited about that. And we also transitioned over to Brightwell from Child Pilot, which is a communication system that we use with our parents, and it's a billing streamline. My report said that we had 5 families switch over from writing checks to using the checking account link that adds it to. We have 27 families enrolled in our bill pay option.
There you go.
Great.
you very much. Communications.
Nothing to add. Well, actually, I do have one thing with regard to our badge system. Mrs. Boxwell, who's taking care of making the badges for the students and making sure their badges are working, pointed out what I had never considered a generational issue. I don't think it's very widespread, but there were at least a few students who were confused by the fact that they actually have to push the button, not just touch the button. Like I said, generational, they've been used to their phones, and you actually have to push a button. We need to give them all an old school telephone.
So that's like the manual shift, millennial theft deterrent in your car?
Yes.
Or a rotary phone?
Yes. So, but I found that interesting, but other than that, nothing.
Okay, thank you. And meals, Ms. Walker.
Nothing to add.
What response do you think we're going to see from parents when, oh yeah, we got to pay for meals next year?
I think I need to leave now.
It's going to be a training. It'll be a training session because we've been, what, 2 years?
2 years almost.
Yes.
So,
We're gonna have to just really work really hard with the principals and get the IOUs cut
right.
real fast, because if not, we'll be in a mess trying to collect all that. And to publicize, fill out those free and reduced lunches, because many are surprised at the amount that you can make on that and still qualify for the boost. And its participation is going to be big in that next year. So we want as many as we can to fill them out.
that's why I said something, so we can start publicizing it now.
Yes.
So people can know that that's coming up.
Yes, and we really won't know our rates or anything until July.
Right.
And you have to put a formula in and see if we have to go up. It's just.
It'll be awesome.
We know the price of the food is up, so we just hope everything goes well. We've enjoyed this year because we made some money, but we're also very cautious of how we're going to spend it next year.
Right.
So.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Curriculum and instruction report, Dr. Rock.
I just want to publicly thank Desiree for applying for that Child Care Relief Fund. We did receive $321,219 for this year, for 1 year, to help support the Ranger Learning Center. So thank you. I also want to thank our teachers that have helped with Ranger Camp. All of our teachers, our campus leaders, our paraprofessionals, and our high school students, and Christy Waite for her support in helping us start the after-school program.
Okay. Any questions? Thank you very much. CFO's report.
Okay. As far as cash and CDs, we're just about where we were last year. ESSER's picking up, so they're down to about 10 days turnaround time, so we're not hurting as bad in between. Just to highlight something you might see that's unusual in the checks paid, Ranger Roundup paid back PISD almost $25,000, and then they still owe us $25,000 to make us whole from what we've lent them over the years, which I'll recoup in June when we do the next check.
Trend's a whole lot nicer.
Enrollment's currently at 2024, and a small handout I gave to y'all, I made a correction on the May 6th budget amendment. I split it out into 2 pages, and then I highlighted the ones, well, it's 2 small changes, they just affected each other, for the $3,000 to correct that. And the fun part. We received our preliminary tax certified values, and page 104 of the book has your M&O values, and then 105 has the INS. The only difference in those is the M&O is a smaller amount due to the wind project. And then if we go to page 103, you can see my comparison. This year we're up about 25% from last year, just on the preliminary values. We won't see our certified until July, of course.
We haven't seen some tax credits, so they pretty, is Lee pretty confident those numbers are pretty close? We're not gonna get big surprises in July?
I haven't spoke as far as their confidence in them.
Yeah, I think everybody's just getting their tax, in fact, they were a little bit late in their tax credits, I think.
And we'll just work through the summer until we can get a better projection in July, and then see what our T2 money will do.
A little bit better than it was the last couple of years, so that's good.
And guys, I want to brag on Brittany because we're starting the budget process and we met with all our administrators, went through line by line of how much money we're spending, whatever, and we've done a really good job. It's worked my tail off having to be in all these meetings every day, but I think that's good. And I think the other thing we got to remember is school's always a year behind. It's a lag. Even though it's good right now, doesn't mean we have the money right now. We're not going to get the money till next year. So we are still cutting people. That's not good to say that. We're still using attrition to cut back where we can. When I'm going through the hiring and releasing and stuff like that.
And the principals were pretty gracious in cutting their budgets. Everybody worked really well. That's nice.
Gracious principles.
I've never heard that word.
No, no, she's done pretty good.
Okay, on to consent agenda items. Find what I did with my agenda. There it is. Looks like we've got minutes of 2 separate meetings. Would be a motion to approve the minutes for 2 previous meetings. Motion to. Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the 2 previous meetings on Tuesday, April the 19th and Thursday, May the 5th. Any additional discussion?
Do I vote on these?
Yep. You are a full 100% member. We'll
Not
blame
my
you for everything.
Not my meetings.
It is your meeting.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Discussion or action items. First on the list, discussion or possible action on the purchase of a 14-passenger bus.
Right now, it's good.
Okay. The bus pictured on page 117, we would be able to purchase for a little less than $80,000. I believe that comes marked with the Ranger sign and PISD and everything. We priced yellow ones that are not white, and they're about $6,000 less, but of course they wouldn't have our colors on them. This bus would allow a non-CDL driver to drive it. And I believe, what is it, 14 passengers?
14.
And we have had routes that don't have a driver that are smaller, and that would have been beneficial at that time. So we're kind of, in some way, saving a driver also, if we could
Are we
purchase
thinking
them.
this is a bus route? Bus or just a smaller bus?
Little activity
Or
bus.
activity bus?
I think we use it for all purposes.
Yeah, but the real selling point on this is that a non-CDL driver would be able to.
No handicap capability on this bus, just,
I don't believe
I
so.
didn't see, just from the picture here, I didn't see, look like, for a lift or anything like that.
No, it's not equipped with it.
We do have another bus that's similar to this, except it's a 16 passenger.
Right. Seen
And you
So
do
they
need,
CDL
and you do
driver.
need your CDL to do that one.
15 more.
So this would be little activity trips for the.
Well, a handful of kids, tennis, basketball team, I mean, a lot of them depend, golf, I mean, just where you don't have to take a big bus.
And bigger than a van and smaller than a big bus.
There you go. It's gonna have a lot of purposes.
And it's available when?
No,
It is
it
immediate.
is.
Other questions? Action?
approve.
Been moved and seconded to approve the purchase of the stated bus here. It's $79.9 is our cost that's on there. Any additional discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Discussion and possible action on the 2022-23 TEAC certification form.
We did that first thing.
We did that first thing.
Before you were president.
Before I was up here, so we'll just move right past that one. Diesel bids were done. How about on approving the District of Innovation?
There we go.
Is on page 139.
I didn't know if y'all had a chance to read that, to see if there's any questions.
I had a few, I'm just narrowing down after everything I've learned this evening, if we still need to ask them. I do have a question on page, you can't see, 143, under E for the modification to class size and notice of exemption, that Perryton ISD will strive to begin each school year with a 22-to-1 or fewer, but then it says that we will not need to be filed with TEA when we exceed that, and that parents of students will not be notified given an exemption, and will not be filed with TEA. So the parents won't be notified if we go over that count?
We're not even close to that. We're looking at having a 20-to-1 ratio.
Okay.
So, and I don't know that we.
It's not applicable?
Yeah.
So I just didn't know why it was included. If like, well, we're not going to notify you, but it's not something that's going to happen.
I think just as Mr. Morales is working on the attrition and making sure that we have the staffing if we needed to go to that route.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with the numbers changing. I just don't love that we're not going to tell parents.
Well, I think this is in the modifications where you're looking at modifications to class size and notice of exemptions. It says parents of students in K4. So you're saying that we should notify the parents?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's part of the rule, and I'm okay with going over because with attrition and things, but just saying that because up here, up in the notice of class size right above it, we're exempting ourselves from that. I don't know if that was a huge workload or what the purpose was for that.
I have no idea.
Or if it was needed.
Well, I know that above the 4th grade, you can go past 22.
Yes, quite a bit.
Underneath it, you can't without a waiver. But this would allow us to do that.
It allows us to go over. I'm fine with going over.
But you're saying parents should be notified?
If it's an important issue. I'm not an expert on this grade level, but.
And where are we now, Dr. Roth, would you say?
20-to-1?
20?
We're at 20-to-1. Some of the classes are 16, 17, 18.
So we're not even getting close to that right now?
And we're not designing the loading or trying to get to loading it like that, so.
I just wanted to make sure it was communicated that we weren't preparing.
Your first year and maybe your loading was gonna look heavy, okay, then we're showing people or something.
Yeah.
And I think, Sarah, the sentence ahead of that, the shall report is to the board. If we're going to be going over 22-to-1, so if there is, then we have an opportunity at that point in time to be able to inform, depending on the situation.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I
That's
just
the point.
think keeping people informed, yeah, that's fine.
Do we need a motion to approve the District of Innovation report?
Yes, I think we do.
Been moved and seconded to approve the District of Innovation report. Any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Consideration and possible action on hiring personnel for the 22-23 school year.
Okay. Recommendation for new personnel contracts. Recommend that we hire the below personnel on a 1-year probationary certified teacher contract for the 22-23 school year. Bianca Valenzuela as a Perryton High School Spanish teacher. Recommend that we hire the below personnel on a 2-year probationary dual contract for the 22-23 school year. Blake Edelman as the head girls basketball coach and assistant athletic director. And then I recommend that we hire the below personnel on a one-year non-certified teacher contract for 22-23 school years. Barry Barkley, Perryton High School wood shop, and Darcy Smith as a grant compliance coordinator. Daisy, excuse me. That's it.
Motion to take action on all of those in one motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to hire the aforementioned personnel. Any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Consideration of possible action on a resolution designating a contract delivery method that provides the best value for the district's 21-22 facilities improvement projects.
Are you using the radio voice?
That was a radio voice.
Just reading that sentence just tickles me.
Okay, I move that the board adopt a resolution as presented, designing the construction manager at risk as a construction contract delivery method as provided by the best value for the district 21-22 facilities improvement projects.
And this is, refresh my memory, for a lot of the ESSER projects, a lot of the things that we're doing from a facilities upgrade that come from the ESSER money, but because of the way that the ESSER grants are written, we're required to follow this pathway regardless.
Right. Alan and I visited with the individuals and basically said, okay, how much can we do? How much can you do? And we're trying to make it work out the most feasible way for the district in working with that. So Alan's aware of what we're trying to do. But because of the Edgar and federal grants, you have to have these things done correctly for the federal government. So audit you and come and get you.
They had a lot of stipulations in here.
They do.
Is this function as a retainer, or is there a cost to it?
Actually, this is two different.
Right.
Because the next thing we'll look at is the agreement for the architectural engineering. This is just to designate a construction manager dash agent.
Right.
Once we designate that, then we hire someone to do that.
This part's for free, okay.
Plus we got
This is the
Yeah, this
free
is
one,
the
the next
freebie.
one's the expensive one.
Okay.
Right. Plus we had to advertise for 2 weeks to get people to bid on it.
So has that already been done?
No, it hasn't been done yet. All we're doing is picking the delivery method. It's manager at risk delivery method.
Just for entertainment purposes, you have read this whole thing, right, Wes?
The next one that we're getting ready to do? Yes, I
Yes, he
have.
has.
And I'm gonna have a comment or two here when we get to it.
I'm curious if they're about the same part.
But the motion is as Mr. Morales had read, if anyone would desire to make that motion, if there was any action.
Someone.
A second.
So moved and seconded.
Unanimously
Board adopt the
seconded.
resolution as presented.
I get one.
Any additional discussion? All in favor? All opposed? 6-0, motion carries. Next on the list, consideration and possible action to approve an agreement for engineering services between the district and Huesman Contracting Engineers LLC, DBA Flex Engineers, to provide design and construction contract administration services related to the district's 2021-22 facilities improvement projects. And that's a sentence you can't read in one breath.
In the recommendation, I move that the board approve the agreement for engineering services between the district and Huesman Consulting Engineers LLC, DBA Flex Engineers, to provide design and construction contract administration services related to the district 21-22 facilities improvement projects, and substantially the form presented, authorized by the superintendent to finalize the agreement as it may be necessary, and further authorize the superintendent to execute the agreement on the district's behalf.
So is this the thing we needed bids on, or no? Okay, separate thing. Okay.
6%.
Okay. It has a 6% cap. In other words, he cannot go over that amount.
Except for.
Oh, yeah, you got that.
Every time we make a copy,
Yeah.
every time we go to lunch, every time we get a motel room.
Every time they travel, every time, yeah.
And they're from Amarillo.
Yes.
Hughesman Drive.
But that is standard in the industry. I merely wanted to say that.
It was in there,
So
you're
it's in
right.
public and on the record. Because as we see, not just here, there's so many
Standard.
rules and regulations and things that we have to follow that make no sense. None, zero. They're merely an additional expense that is written in the legislation that we have very little control over.
When we make copies or they make copies?
They.
That makes more sense.
Just like lawyers. We'll just give them a bunch of paper.
Well, really.
Every time they turn on their printer.
Paper and a container of toner.
And I need to remind you all that these projects are the doors at Perryton High School and Wright that we've been doing already.
And the HVAC system.
And the HVAC systems across the district. And then the HVAC system at Ranger Gym that we're going to put in hopefully this summer. And windows at Kinder, amounting to about $2 million. But the attorneys have written into there that once you get to a certain value, you have to have an architect or an engineer. And this is because of Edgar type of regulations with federal money.
Yeah, I'm not saying we can get around it.
No,
I'm
we
just
can't get
saying
around it.
It's just irritating that you can't do anything. It's no different than a softball project that we looked at what was a manageable project, but because it came in above a certain level, we incurred a great deal more expense because it came above that level for very little response for the extra expense.
Can you put things, not this obviously, but could you do something like the softball field in phases?
We did.
And it's still,
Phases have to be about yay big.
Just all one
It's
project.
$50,000.
that is tiny
At the
for a
end of the
school
day, it's
project.
one big project. These
It's like mowing the grass.
could be more separated than that because they're different campuses.
And that they're still not even close to under the threshold.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying for these, but just for
Yeah,
future reference for
not going over.
the goal, the limit is 50,000.
Yeah, the dollar, the hourly rate on here, I think was arranged at $165 an
Depending-
hour.
Depending on the
architect.
classification of the employee.
Depending on what all he has to do. We don't think there's a lot to do with the doors because they're pretty much already in. We don't think there's gonna be a lot to do. There may be more to do with the HVAC units. The windows, if we just take out windows and put windows back in at Kinder, I don't think there's gonna be a lot there. So I'm hoping that the bill's not gonna be that high, but it could.
I would
I mean,
assume
they-
their biggest HVAC issue would be load capability across the roofs of the new.
New gyms.
But Alan keeps an eye on them the whole time, right?
I like that.
Do my best.
Make sure we're not getting ripped off. You got your house on.
Yeah.
There won't be so many places at one time.
Yeah, and that was really the deal. There's no way Alan can do the job that he's already doing, taking care of
Oh,
our
wow.
facilities, and then have to be over that construction too. There's just no way.
I just thought about a little drive-by every day, making sure it's all okay.
Everybody's actually working, not leaning on a shovel.
No, just make sure everything's done right.
So do they have an estimate what they think this is gonna cost?
No, there's just a cap
Okay.
of what it can't go over. On that stuff.
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of. I like that.
Okay.
But guys, we need to get moving on this ESSER money and get these things going. Because, we only got so much time on those ESSER grants. What?
Use it or lose it.
Yeah, we're gonna use it.
Let's use it then.
So I have spoken my piece. Is there a recommendation on the motion, or is there, would you like me to read it again? I'd read it again, or you all have it in front of you?
They have it, I think, yes, sir.
I move we accept the proposal.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded.
Y'all messing with me too.
The pause. It's been moved and seconded to approve the recommendation as presented on page 191. Any additional discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Last thing on the agenda, which, two things. Next to last thing on the agenda, which we can either take action on or table the next meeting, was consideration and possible action on transfers. Looks like we will table that till the next meeting and set the date for the next meeting. Third Tuesday is the 21st, fourth Tuesday is the 28th. 28th.
After graduation.
Wrong 28th.
June.
Oh, no.
June is
June,
June.
May. I was pretty out of that.
We done with Weedovers by then, what we need.
Yeah.
So June the 28th, 6 PM? Okay. Well, I declare this meeting adjourned.